want to be that guy that everybody wants to be like and all women want to be with. And so, this movie is a representation of how hard and how far you willing to go to be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? The best, to be him. And that's why the movie is called him. I think I heard originally this movie was called GOAT. And so, but anyway, so after that weird little whole thing, and they out there celebrating after he done knocked this dude clean out with his head, I think they go out and they share a moment in the sauna room where they're just sitting in there talking, vibing. Marlon is in there telling him the story about, him wanting to be the greatest is all he ever wanted. And all the things that he wanted to do. And I think I remember there being a point where he says, he always wanted to be a family man, take care of his family, take all the things that he learned from his dad and pass that along. And you know what I'm saying? I think he tells him all of that. And when he tells him that, Marlon goes, dang, man, you're a real good dude. He said, don't be like me, man. Be better than me. You know what I'm saying? Because Marlon didn't want all that. He wasn't care about being no family. He just wanted to be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But he had dreams and aspirations of being a better person because he had an example of somebody to teach him how to be a man and how to be a better person. His dad was there and he pushed him to be great. And so, I think Marlon gets up to lead a sauna, and they showed this girl early on when he came in, but this crazy fan was like, we don't want you here. She comes in and he loses on her and he starts choking her to death, but he doesn't kill her. He thought he killed her. But then, she gets up and Marlon kicks her and knocks her out or kills her or something. I don't know what he did, but he kicked her in the head and knocked her over. I think he killed her. And when he killed her, the two crazy, I'm trying to even figure out how the hell they even got in here in the first place. Two of the crazy people with her, they come in behind her on her dead body in the sauna. And so it's just wild. This whole movie is just it's a wild movie. It's a lot of weird stuff going on in this movie. And so, I think after that scene, they cut to them being outside and Marlon shooting, doing his practice shots, shooting practice, range, shooting things. And so the main character is there with him and they're practicing, and he just saying crazy stuff. Man, she be sucking on my like this, and just you start seeing parts of actual Marlon come out in this character here, where Marlon's just being real goofy, and I think I remember laughing at that part in the movie theater for sure. And so that gets to a part where the main character, he offers him to take a shot, and he shoots and he missed. And he tells them, hey, you know what I'm saying? He says, yo, if you make this next shot, he was like, I'll give you, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, a house, a car, some money. So he offers them a bunch of stuff. He said, but if you miss, he's like, I'm going to take your manhood or something like that. And I was like, what the kind of weird ass proposition? Well, what was that? I thought that was strange. He said, I'm going to take your... He didn't say manhood, but he might as well. I mean, that's literally what he said. He implied it was that. He said a different word, but it was that. And so I remember being in the theaters, and I think I remember saying, yo, don't take that deal. And I think somebody heard me in the theaters because I heard laughing after I said that in the theaters. And so anyway, then he says, nah, he's like, I like to earn my stuff. He said, how about this? He's like, how about, if I do miss, I promise not to take your spot in the next season or whatever. So, cause Marlon doesn't want to get this up. He loves what he does. This is all he cares about. And so I think after he does all this. He hangs out with the girls. Well, he's not hanging out with the girls. He's kind of just chilling in his space, and the girls come around, and they say, "You want to come hang with me and the girls by the pool?" And one of the girls come up and go, "Do you want to come with us?" And so you already know what's going on. She is insinuating. He come out there, and they get freaky. So, you know, he gets up, he goes out there, he parties with them, sleeps with, you know, I don't know who he sleep with, but we know he turned up, he slept with somebody. And when he wakes up, Marlon's right there with the gun on him. He said, "Did you sleep with her?" And he's like, "Look, man, no. He's like, "Did you sleep with her?" And he goes, "Man, I got a girlfriend, man. I'm da-da-da." He was like, "Oh, yeah, you love this girlfriend, don't you? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, you love this girl. Okay." And so, you know, it's just kind of crazy, dark moments just going on in this movie, in this whole process and how everything is going on in here. And it's just kind of wild. So, but as the movie progressed, you know, our main character finally, you know, I believe later on in the movie, he does like this interview where he talks about the last time he spoke to his dad. And in the interview, you know, he has a very emotional scene where he was telling his dad the last time he talked to him that he was like done with football. He was giving up on his dream. Obviously, he was upset and he was angry at his dad, and that he was quitting and giving up on it. And that was the last time he talked to him. I could tell that really, really hurt him. And I think his dad's death is possibly what pushed him into really getting back into football and really locking in and focus on being the best, because, you know, his dad really wanted that for him, as you could see in the intro scene of the movie. And so anyway, so, you know, he shares some real emotional moment there. And I think I remember the girl coming up to him after the interview and inviting him to a party. And he goes, nah, he needs to rest from working out. And then she goes, well, the San Antonio Saviors, I hear they're thinking about recruiting you, and they're gonna be there at the party. This is their party they throwing. And so then he goes, well, dang, you need to lead with that. So he gets up, he goes with her to the party. When they show up, it's this dark building, and it's like, it's just kind of weird. He's like, yo, this is where the party's at? He's like, yeah, you know, they kind of hold it, it's kind of secret, it's kind of sacred, and, you know, they kind of have weird, you know, practices that they do here, weird little rituals that they do here. And so, you know, come on in. You know, it's kind of low-key. The party is, well, she didn't say low-key. I'm saying low-key. That's the slang. That means it's on the low. You know, that means the party is hidden. And so she goes in, they go in together into the party, and it's this weird, just weird, dark party. I mean, this shit look like some Illuminati shit as soon as you get in here. Like, it's dark, red lights in there. The party just looked crazy. It looked like they definitely doing some rituals, some satanic shit in there for sure. So, but anyway, so he goes in there, the party is strange, he's with this girl, he sees the doctor, the white dude, the doctor for Marlon Wayans, who had been injecting him with the shots and all that, and he whispers in his ear, he says, run. And so he hears that, and he's looking back at him like, what the is going on, as the girl is pushing him forward closer towards the owners of the San Antonio Savers, the team that's recruiting him. By the way, this is the same team Marlon played for all them years and won all those 8 rings for. And so this is the team he's been wanting to play for his whole life. And so she's pushing him forward, and then, you know, as he going forward, he sees his agent is there. And so he sees him, he daps him up, he's happy to see him. You know, he's dapper, he's cool. And I'm assuming they invited him there because that's his agent. And, you know, he probably didn't want to talk business without him being there. And so, you know, I guess it's kind of weird that he just in the middle of the party, though. Like, they didn't even say he was coming or anything. She just invited him and brought him. So it was just weird. It was just weird that he was there. I was kind of shocked, but he was happy to see him. He dapped him up. Then, you know, he come forward. He talked with the owners of the team. They all got glasses with this red stuff in it. And that was just weird. Like, because it looked like blood. Like, it was like, what in the world? And so they hold their glasses up, and then he drinks. And now I did not notice this at first when I watched the movie, but I talked with one of the people who I saw the movie with after, and they made me realize that he was the only one that drank out the glass. He's the only one that drank it. And I'm 1,000% sure this dude drank blood. I mean, now granted, it could have just been wine. You know, there's different colors of different alcohols, especially as time has progressed. They've become more, you know, inventive with how they color the alcohol nowadays. But I'm telling you, I feel like this is blood. And so this movie done kind of stepped into some satanic things. It's already been dark up until now anyway, but it done stepped into some satanic Illuminati type stuff when we get to this party, this scene where they're recruiting him. So he drinks it, and then he kind of like blacks out, and then, you know, he kind of walks over, and there's this little helmet there, and he picks it up and he takes it off. And it's the head of his agent. His agent's head is there on the table. And it's just, this shuck is just crazy. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? And so, movie just takes a real dark and strange turn in this part. And so, but anyway, so I believe that's pretty much the end of that scene. And the next scene, they show him back at the compound over in the area where he was in the tub where they first took the needle. And he sees on there that the blood that he's been getting, it has the name of the football player that he looks up to, which I believe is Isaiah. So then he goes in his room to confront him. Now, throughout the whole movie, Marlon has been saying this thing